Hello, welcome to my channel 25th and South. My name is Cece and today I'm doing a speed build here in The Sims 4. Now this is a build that I did for the Silken Sims Spookathon. So I did it a couple of weeks ago over Halloween and it was a lot of fun. I kind of started on it and people in the stream that I did, well, yes, the Spookathon was over Twitch, kind of helped me put it together. So I decided to do a speed build of it, but I do have on my channel raw footage from that stream, from that Spookathon stream. It's like 5 hours, so it's the perfect length for those of you who, like me, maybe like building with some sound in the background. I love watching stream videos with sound in the background while I'm building. So check it out. I also did some celebrity makeovers from the Get Famous expansion pack as well on that stream, so it'll be my channel. But let's get back into the build. So here I am in Windenburg on the, I believe it's a 20 by 20 lot. It's in sort of the countryside of Windenburg. The Free Spirits live here from the Get Together expansion pack. And I wanted to build a cottage that I found on Pinterest. I will put the photo up right now. And I just loved this photo, how whimsical this build looked. It's the perfect little cottage, and kind of my thought process is on the outside it would look very traditional, like maybe it was built in, you know, the early part of the 20th century and probably had no electricity, and, you know, a family has owned this cottage for years and years and years, and they've maintained it. It's probably been a vacation home for years, but now it is been renovated on the interior to be more modern because a brand new family lives here now. This is Daniel and Sophia Young Chung and their twin toddlers, John and Xavier. And so they are a young family that have moved to Windenburg. Sophia and Daniel grew up in San Myshuno, and they decided that for their family home they wanted to move to Windenburg, to the countryside, because they've always been in big city noise and sounds and everything, and they want to give their kids that quintessential sort of country life. Sophia works in Windenburg downtown. She works outside the home, and Daniel stays home. He is a freelance web developer, so he stays with the kids. And so I tried to suit this house to where it looks very, very traditional on the outside. I think they really love how the home looks on the outside, very traditional. But on the inside, it's very modernized. So it doesn't look old-fashioned or anything like that. It's very clean, color palette, soft grays and whites and some blacks in there. So something that you probably would find in a big city. But as you can see, I am working still on this exterior. I was wanting it to look, like I said, very traditional. I wanted to try and get it as close to the pictures I possibly can. As you know, for those of you who enjoy building, trying to build off a picture it's difficult. On the one hand, for me, I like using a picture because I'm creative, but it's hard for me to come up with something from scratch a lot of times. So just kind of having a photo to kind of base off of is an easy way for me to kind of figure out what I want to do. However, when you have a shape that is as basic as that cottage that I showed you, The Sims, it doesn't always translate the beauty. So you will see me just go back and forth with windows and this and that, and It's only because I'm trying to make it not only look like the photo, but try to make it look as pleasing to the Sims as possible. Now here I'm working on the floor plan. I managed to get technically 3 bedrooms, kitchen, and then a living dining area. Now I also managed to get a little laundry nook. I say technically 3 bedrooms because that downstairs little room that's kind of off to the, I think, right side of the screen is an office, but you can, especially when the twins get older and you might want them to each have their own bedroom, you can maybe make that a bedroom, maybe make that the master bedroom. I think it'd be too small to put a big bed in there, but definitely it'd be big enough to put a twin size bed in there. But yeah, I also got 2 bathrooms. Now in the stream, the downstairs bathroom is a half bath, but when I went back to kind of edit it, I realized I could easily make it a bathroom with a shower. So you might see in my screenshots that I do put a shower in there if I can take a good picture of it. Sometimes it's hard to take a picture of smaller spaces, but this will be available in the gallery. A lot of people have already downloaded it, but I'm going to re-upload it with a full bathroom downstairs. And now I'm working on the upstairs floor plan. I decided to leave floor planning in because it really didn't take me that long to kind of figure it out. Pretty basic, simple floor plan. My idea was try to make it look like something that you would find kind of in the early 20th century that they would have put together. Just sort of an easy floor plan to do. Okay, so now I am starting to work on the inside of the house, dropping down some lights, and I will start putting up the wallpaper and all the flooring. As you can see, I'm using a mixture of base game lights and those get together lights because I wanted it to have sort of modern lights, but maybe they left in the old lights that used to be here. I put in these gray jungle adventure floors. Now what I did for trying to figure out the interior was I went on Pinterest and I searched modern country interior, and so a lot of the photos that I saw of sort of a modern country interior were very sort of soft gray palettes, sort of, I guess you would call it raw, like wood materials. So that's why I went with these floors. And now I'm working in the kitchen. I love the tile from the vampire pack. It's one of the main reasons I got the pack, because I just love the tiles that they use. And so I decided to go with the soft blue because I felt it complemented kind of that blue tone that's coming out of those jungle adventure wood floors that are throughout the house. And I use that base game wallpaper that came with a recent update because I think it came just before we got Realm of Magic. I love all of those swatches from this wallpaper. I think it's so pretty. But the kitchen is a galley style kitchen. It's small, and I wanted to keep it small because I think it was probably the original kitchen to the house. And really, when you're renovating, there are some things that cost a lot of money to do, such as knocking down walls or expanding. Of course, there's a little bit of room in the back, sort of back garden, that if you wanted a bigger kitchen, you can easily expand it. I went with this gray base game wallpaper for the rest of the house. And as you can see, I stopped working on the inside of the house because at this part of the stream, I didn't really have a story for the family. So I went upstairs and I put in some walk-in closets for the bedrooms. But I didn't do the wallpaper in there at this point because I wasn't sure who lived here. And yeah, now I'm working on this downstairs bathroom, and as you can see, I just made it a half bath. I started to make it a full bath, but made it a half bath, or a powder room, I guess you would call it, because I was like, I can't fit a a shower in here. Well, as you can see, if you look behind the stairs, there is this happy space behind the stairs that I could have easily fit a shower in. And I don't know why in the stream I didn't think of that. I don't know what was going on with me. I was just kind of talking my way through a lot of it, and I guess just not paying attention. And with the stream, like I said before, it was a marathon stream, so I only had a short window, about 5 hours, to do everything in. And I know that seems like a lot of time, but for me, building, it can take me a few hours to build something, even if it's a small build, just because I'm such a perfectionist. That was one of the comments during my stream, is that I'm such a perfectionist, because I just want everything to be in its place and be perfect and look nice. And I won't finish a build until I think it's absolutely perfect. But now I'm working on the upstairs bathroom, or I just finished the upstairs bathroom pretty quick. I used one of the sort of spa bathtubs, and it's a good sized family bathroom. And now I'm working on the dining living area, and I'm really proud of this room. This is probably one of my favorite rooms that I've ever built. So as I said before, I wanted this space to feel like it was something that was built a long time ago. And if you've ever been to sort of an older cottage, you'll note that all of the rooms are kind of small. I don't know if people just in general were smaller or if they just built smaller homes just because they didn't really need a whole lot of space. So I didn't really want, that's why a lot of the rooms do feel a little tight. And that's just because it was by design. I wanted to feel that way. And as you see, I'm trying to figure out how to configure this living room, and about this time is when it sort of comes together. As you see, I used mostly modern interior decorations, the mosquito stuff pack, couch on the side, some city living chairs, that rug, I believe is, oh gosh, it's escaping me. I think it's cats and dogs. I can't even guess. I use that laundry day hutch on the side, and then I think that was the Get Famous glass table with vintage glamour chairs. And now I'm working on the office that could easily be a bedroom. And this is mostly Daniel's workspace. Like I said, he works from home. He is freelancer. And so I wanted it to be sort of as cozy as possible, because he's probably, when he's not with the kids, in this room the majority of his day. I also put an easel in here. I imagine that Sophia is the painter, that maybe her work has to do with painting. I was thinking, now that universities come out, that maybe she's an art professor. That would be a cute career to have. And now I'm working the hallway. I didn't really want to busy the hallway that much, the downstairs hallway. I wanted it to be a really open space. I didn't want it to feel very cramped, so I didn't really put a whole lot of things in here. Now I am working on the upstairs landing, and that is a cats and dogs rug. I know that one for sure. And I use these vampire chairs. I love these chairs. They're some of my favorites. And right here I realized I had a lot of space right here, and I didn't really know what to do with it. So I decided to put this little sort of reading nook in the corner. And at first I did put a walk-in closet here, but you'll see me later on change it to a little laundry unit, where I put the stackable laundry and then a laundry basket. And now, because I went ahead and I dropped all the big furniture in, I still haven't worked on those bedrooms because at this point I still didn't know who lived here. I had yet to come up with the story, so I decided to go outside and work on the exterior of the home, the landscaping. And if you remember from the photo, which I can pop it up back on screen right here, there's a lot going on in the photo of the exterior, but not enough that it would translate well. I think if I just did it exactly the way the photo looks, it would be really boring outside. So I kind of went landscaping crazy. And really crazy with the vines as well. I will implore you that if you do download this house, be sure to activate or enable the Move Objects cheat, because I built this house in one save file that was winter, and so when I went to go take the screenshots, of course, all of these beautiful plants were dead because it was the middle of winter. And so I decided to move it to another save file where it was a season where these plants would flourish. But when I initially moved it, I forgot to put Move Objects, and all my vines are gone. So I had to redo it. So please, oh please, oh please, any build that you get from me, enable Move Objects, because I use Move Objects. I just like things being in a certain place. There's that perfectionist coming out of me. And Move Objects helps me to do that. But as you can see, this is pretty much the front yard. I add in a lot of trees as well. You'll see, just because the picture shows the house sort of surrounded by trees. I used pretty much all the different vines or ivy that was available. Jungle Adventure base game, Get Together, Vampire, just as all of it that I could use. I kind of went crazy with it because I just wanted the house to be covered. One thing that I was trying to make sure to do, if you can see down that left side, there is sort of a fishing area, so I was trying not to block my Sims from the ability to go fishing. So you will see me kind of move things around a bit just so that they can have access. Here I am just trying to see if it looks good in the photo in the gallery. And here I am, I'm dropping down a fence. I believe this particular fence is, Strangerville. It's one of my favorite fences. And then I use this stone wall fence from the Get Together expansion pack, which of course this is the world it's in. And there's not a whole lot of backyard space, but there was just enough to put a few little items in there. I think I got a swing set and some toddler play toys and so see, here I am trying to make sure there is enough room for you to walk on over to the fishing pond. And I put a swing set back here as well. Sorry, my ADD is kicking in a little bit. But yeah, I loved doing the landscaping. Landscaping when I initially got Sims 4 was probably one of my least favorite things to do. I just wasn't very good at it, but it's one of those things, building in general, you keep doing it, and sooner or later you'll get confident in one or more aspects of building. So for me, landscaping is something that I have really been working on and trying to do well, and now I'm really proud of all the landscaping that I've done. And as you see, more ivy. I just sort of smothered and covered this house in as much ivy as I could. I just thought it would bring out sort of the personality of the home. I really just wanted it to look like a quintessential little cottage. I'm downsizing those bushes because there just wasn't enough room for you to get past. And I don't know, when you size down objects, does it still take up the same sort of space? Does it still occupy the same space, or does that change? I don't know if I'm making sense. But I just wondered that. If you know, let me know down below. Now, I know it's probably weird to build this beautiful fence and then put all of those beautiful island living bushes there, but I just love those bushes because they have really pretty flowers in it, and you can see it on the other side. You can see the stone fence from the other side. Here I'm almost about done. I was trying to find a specific type of piping to go outside, but I couldn't find it. And I put in these surveillance cameras because they're in the middle of nowhere, and I imagine that Daniel is like, even though he loves the outdoors, he wants to make sure his home is safe. But here I am. This is about the time where I came up with my family, and so I'm building Daniel and Sophia's bedroom right now, and I used a good amount of City Living and Machino stuff back because this is about the time where I decided that they were actually from San Myshuno, so they probably have a lot of modern furniture and a lot of it from the City Living pack, because if they're from San Myshuno, that's the stuff that they're going to get. But I brought in a little bit of that outside element with those outdoor retreat side tables, and here I am working on the toddler's bedroom, and I designed it for 2 twin boys. So I kind of went sort of traditional on my interpretation of twin boys, but so a lot of blues. But of course you can go in and change the colors and make it whatever you want. You can make it a single child's room if you like. But this I just thought would be really cute, kind of nursery. Here I am, as you can see, I cut a lot of stuff out because I streamed this for, like I said, 5 hours, and the majority of my stream was this build. But I decided to put in, along with the sort of kids stuff, just sort of a relaxing place, something that Sophia would love. And now I'm working on doing all the details. So if you've seen any of my speed builds in the past, I go ahead and I go through and I put all the big stuff down first, and then I go through and start doing the details. And here against this wall, I do this really pretty little gallery wall above the couch. So one thing you will notice is there's no TV in the living room. And a lot of that was because I felt like maybe Daniel and Sophia want to limit the technology that their kids have. And another reason for that is because I didn't really have any room. And I know a lot of times people will merge a TV into this cats and dogs fireplace, which I do, but as you can see, what's in front of that fireplace is the chess table, so it just didn't make any sense to me. And as you can see on that little side hutch from Laundry Day, I put down some decorations. One of the decorations I put down was a menorah that you would use during Hanukkah, and that's what gave me the idea that this family is Jewish. And if you go back and watch the raw stream, you'll see towards the end of it, we get into this whole thing about, of me creating the family. So Sophia is of Egyptian descent, but she is Jewish, and Daniel is of an Asian descent, probably Korean, but he is also Jewish. So I wanted them to make them look like kind of unconventional, like you wouldn't expect them to be Jews, but they are Jews. And so there was a whole thing of trying to figure out what names to give them and what last name to give them. But that was a really fun. You'll hear me just kind of talking to myself because obviously with Twitch, you're reading the chats. So I try to do my best to read what all the suggestions that people have. But here is where I put the only TV in the house, because I started thinking Daniel works from home. He's from the city. He does love the outdoors, but I can imagine that every once in a while he's gonna want to watch, the football game, watch, the San Myshuno Sharks play or something like that. So I did add in a tiny TV that probably the twins are not allowed to watch. Now, they do have little learning pads, only because the toddlers kind of learn faster on those little tablets than they do with any other way of learning. And some people might not like playing with toddlers and going through the motions of teaching them with the flashcards, because that does take longer. So I did put those down in the room, and of course once they're kids they can't use them anymore, which I do think is kind of silly. But as you saw, I did such a good job. I put down a trash can and a thermometer, and here you can see, as I mentioned before, that little nook with the laundry day. And I wanted it to be kind of tucked away, so I decided to put this curtain up. So, because imagine you're walking up the stairs, you don't want to walk up the stairs and just see laundry. So I put that little curtain up. Now, I don't know if they can get access to it. I think your Sims can. I think your Sims would probably just walk right through it. That curtain won't affect them in any way in their ability to reach the washer and dryer. I have not fully play tested this house. Most of the play testing I did was to make sure that my Sims could get around some of the tighter spaces in this house, such as the living room. So there might be a little bit of a kind of back and forth trying to figure out the path, but they are able to get everywhere. I put in these big curtains in the master bedroom because, like I said, Daniel works from home, and I'm sure that they wake up at weird hours, and he probably, to Sophia's dismay, does not get the boys up bright and early. He probably tries to sleep as much as he can, so he has those big curtains covering his windows. And as you will notice, I do put a lot of art in this house. As I said, Sophia loves art, so I wanted the house to be covered in all different kinds of art. But let's see, now I'm just going to continue doing some of these final touches in all those rooms. But let me think, who's excited about university? I know I am. I've been debating back and forth about whether to watch any of the gameplay that the Game Changers will have, because I like to see the game for myself. I didn't have the Sims 3 or Sims 2, so I didn't have all of those university packs. So for me, I will have zero expectations, zero wants or needs. I will just probably be excited about whatever the game has to offer, because I do have Kawaii Stacy's University mod in my game right now, and I love playing with that. I just think it's really realistic, and that's kind of how I like to play The Sims, in the most realistic way. But we are almost done with this build. I just really love this house. I want to play in it like all the time. So I might do, I don't know, maybe not a full-blown let's play with this family, but maybe just sort of a chill. But as I said, almost done, just putting up those finishing touches. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by giving a thumbs up with that happy little like button. Comment down below what you think of the house, what you think of the story of the family, and stay tuned to the end, because I do a little a video tour with the family, and you'll get to see them kind of run around the house. But if you haven't already and you want to, please subscribe to my channel. I try to post 3 times a week. Doesn't always happen, but I try to. And I would love to have you on board. Again, my name is Cece, and I promise never to break your game. Bye!